All right, hi everyone. I wanted to show you guys how to, and I'm recording this in video to show you how to do these error bars. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but I think the general concepts here will at least get you out on the right foot and figuring out how to find the error bars for one. So I'm an Excel file here, and this is Rachel's data. And this right here, we're going to, so error bars have been added to this white cotton up here. So this white polyester is what we're going to be working with. And you'll notice here that Rachel has this set up to where she has all of her averages that she used to create is this going to work? Yeah. To create that figure is right there. And the way that this is set up with averages, or excuse me, the points sort of right next to each other in set one, set two, set three, because she has three lines on one graph, there's really not any room to put in the standard deviations in that table. And the software isn't smart enough to differentiate what's an average and what's a standard deviation. So what I do is wherever you have a table, no matter what it looks like, that you're creating a figure based upon, then you create an identical table below it or next to it for the standard deviation. So you can see the averages are up here, the standard deviations are here. All right. Now, the way Rachel and I have done this is that there's probably some steps that can be taken out here, but I sort of want you to see where the data is, because Rachel brought in all the average alleles here, and I added a standard deviation column. And we can see that we're working on white polyester here, and we actually want to bring in set one, and we want to bring in set two. So it's sort of spread out. Also, where did this is an average number layer. So where did this average come from? Well, this is in a separate table. And this is one of the challenging things. So here's all of the raw data. And essentially what I want to, so I'm working on polyester here, right? So what I want to do is I want to average the zero wash from set one, samples one and two. There's just two samples that we're averaging here. So you can see it's going to be 6 and 6. So when I have my table like all long like this, and I want to take averages, it's usually like this average for these two numbers. We can sort of highlight it there. All right. It is the problem I have is now my averages are all here, but now they're spaced out. Oh man, that's a pain. So what I've, and the same thing here, here's the standard deviation. So one of the first things that I want you guys to notice that's important is I'm using equal stdev.s. Okay, it's the standard deviation of a sample and then something else, and I can't remember what it is. But I'm taking the standard deviation of these two numbers. Okay, so I create, when I have my average column here, which I guess I can put that in there, and the standard deviation column here. Okay, the problem is when I first do this, now all of the averages are spaced out, all the standard deviations are spaced out. So I created another average and standard deviation column where they're just sort of scrunched together. Okay. And now what Rachel had done is taken those averages and transferred them over here to this tab. And I just did the same with the standard deviations. So again, I'm working on white polyester in part one. We can see the averages are 6000. And I've just copied in the white polyester from set one. I've also copied in the standard deviations, which these are not very excited because these are both 6. All of the rest are both 0. So there's like 0 standard deviations. Okay. But here for white polyester set 2, okay, again, the set 2 is sort of down here in the white polyester. All right. So what I've done here is I've created this. Rachel's already had this nice average here. I created a separate table, just copied, pasted, changed the standard deviation, took out all the numbers. So now I'm going to copy in my standard deviations from set 1, standard deviations from polyester set 2, etc. Okay, so this is going to be a little polyester. I need to make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, copy, and I'm going to just paste the values here. Polyester set 2, copy, paste, and polyester finally set 3, standard deviations, copy and paste. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do, and it may take a long way to get there, is to calculate your standard deviations in your table and then get them to where you have a parallel table to the averages. Just now it's with standard deviations. Okay, now how do I add them to the line? Okay, well, let me click my first plot here, and you can see it highlights me. Okay, this is the set line for set 3. So I need to add these standard deviations to the line. Okay, now this, you click plus error bars, and it automatically adds error bars, but they're wrong. Okay, I'm going to go down here to more options. Okay, this is the most important thing that you're going to, I should have started out with this. You probably fast forwarded to this part. Okay, custom. Okay, because this fixed value, we don't percent it. Standard deviation of one, well, it doesn't know what the standard deviation. So I'm going to go specific value. And for positive, I'm going to select my standard deviations. Okay. All right. For negative error value, I'm also going to select those same standard deviations. Okay. And I'm going to click OK. All right. So see, it adds those standard deviations to that set 3. Now I'm going to do the same thing for line 2. Click on it. Okay. That's set 2. All right. I want to add the standard deviations. Okay. I'm going to more options. Okay, I'm going to customize this with a specific value. It thinks I'm going over here because that's the last thing I did. No, this is set 2, right? So I'm going to go right here for the positive, right here for the negative. Okay, so you have to make sure that you don't look at what the software is suggesting. Make sure you do the right thing and then click OK, and it adjusts them. Okay. So we can sort of see there's some overlap there. Okay, they're both, well, they're a little bit separate up here. So set 2 lost a little bit more. Okay, I'm not interpreting. You guys just care about how to do this. Now this should be super boring, right? Because they're all 0, but I'm still going to go through it. More options. Whoops. Try that again. Come on. As you can see, I'm having trouble. There we go. More options. Well, this is new, isn't it? Okay, because I've somehow selected the whole thing. Oh, for crying out loud. Come on. Just set 1. Thank you. Oh my God. Maybe I accidentally just found a shortcut there. Okay, click on here. More options. It's just for set 1. All right. Custom. Plus. Negative. And so I'm adding that. And it does nothing because they're all 0. Okay, I'm starting to wonder if I would have just selected all of them. Could I select this whole table and it would automatically add the right standard deviations in the right location? Maybe. But I'm just doing it one line at a time. This will work for bar graphs. You just need to make sure that whatever average is selected for your data set, make sure the standard deviations are just arranged in the exact same order below it, and then you can drag and drop that in. Okay, hopefully this helps. If it's confusing, ask me. Rewind this, rewatch it. I mean, you've hopefully pulled the important stuff out and are able to do it yourself. All right, good luck.